Hey everybody, how you doing, Jack?
Hey.
How you doing,
Very well,
Gigi?
thank you, Andrew.
Hi, how are you
Gigi.
doing?
Very good.
Okay,
Good.
so see people are coming into the room, so welcome everybody. Let us know where you're watching from. We're streaming to Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. It's a multi-streaming universe now.
Hey. Very exciting.
That's good. Okay, let me see what we got here. Okay, cool. Okay, so someone says, hi, Andrew, regards from Mexico, and
Hi,
as
Andrew.
well as someone else from St. Louis. They both say Facebook user. So let me just remind everyone that please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pic. So I'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions. That's just the link under the live, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give that a click, give permissions, jump on back. Thank you. Let me just check here real quick here. Good. Okay. So yes. So let us know, everybody, where you're watching from. Welcome. And while we're waiting for other people to come in, let me give a little shout out to StreamYard, the multi-streaming app that makes it possible to stream to all these various places. So here's a little intro video. Thank you, StreamYard. Cool. StreamYard. All right, cool.
Hey.
Seamless platform.
Yeah, it is smooth. I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Just checking the email. Okay. So here we go. People coming in.
Just like your work, Gigi, smooth as silk.
Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you, Andrew, for hosting.
Sure. Then we have another Facebook user. So yes, once again, please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pics, so I'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions. It's just the link under the live, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Please click that, give permissions, so I can see your wonderful faces and names. Here we go. We got Jennifer from Orlando.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
A lot of people from Facebook. World of Facebook today. I will, Gigi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello there. Hi, everyone. My name is Gigi Chung, and I am a fine art photographer specializing in architectural abstracts. My current creative process is to gain confidence, to realize ideas, to get motivated, to ask questions, and to embrace experimentation. I'm currently shooting with Hasselblad X1D camera.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining me today.
Okay, great. And shall I show your slides? And then also what we can do is we can also do a screen share for a website if you also have other work that you want to show that way too. So, but shall I jump over to the slide view?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. I'll move it down. There we go. Okay. Can you see it?
Let's take a look here. Yes.
Okay, great.
So the slide here we have is a published work that I've done for Royal Photographic Society Women in Photography We Are magazine, the June issue. And in this magazine, in this issue, I have talked about the method I used to approach this project on Seoul's architecture. My minimalistic approach is to look at a busy street and a complex scene and think about how to make it simple and how to make it simple for people to remember. So then let's take a look at this project. Planning is important. How I locate the building. I would use an up-to-date local map. For this case, for Seoul is the Nava map. I would also determine what time of the day to shoot. I use an outdoor planning photography tool called the TPE. And how do I carry out the plan? I walk and I keep walking and keep exploring, circle around different buildings, and use different angles to shoot the architecture.
Right.
I also come back at a different time. The light condition is going to change, and it can evoke a different emotion. So there are some suggestions. These are some of my suggestions. For the details of the projects, you can look at the link for this website, Seoul Architecture, Right Place, Right Time, from Royal Photographic Society, Women in Photography, We Are magazine.
Okay. Okay. Did you want me to go to the next slide?
Actually, I would like to elaborate on these two slides. So
Okay.
the first slide is me standing in front of the I Saw You logo in front of the Seoul City Hall Plaza. And the picture next to that is part of the Seoul City Hall's facade. The Seoul City Hall facade resembles the eaves of the old Korean house. And the multiple facades looks like a diamond with the scintillations reflecting the sky. That's what I found interesting.
Great.
And Andrew, you can go to the next slide for me,
Okay.
please. So there it is, the picture of the two different sides of the Seoul City Hall. And the Seoul City Hall here on the left shows that bulging out window, which looks like an eye to me.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thank
Really
you.
cool.
And that green is one of my actually favorite colors too, the green and blue combination, which is very calming. And it also resonates with the green hills around the city. And let's
It's a lovely color scheme.
Oh, thank you. Let's take a look at the pictures on the next, on the photos underneath. Background slide,
underneath,
yes,
yep.
There it is, yes. So to the left of the picture, that's the, thank you for the comment, for the lovely
Yep,
work.
lovely work.
The left of the picture is the Summit Gallery in Gangnam area in Seoul. It is a metallic facade, which is showing different circles at openings and windows, which also resembles, I think it resembles speakers, if you will, in the real world. While the right side of this particular page, that building called Place 1, it looks like the suckers in an octopus extension. That's what I like to draw that analogy with. So then,
And Don says, very,
Don.
very beautiful work.
Thank you, Don. Thanks for joining us.
Great.
Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
So this picture right here is actually a headquarter of a very famous Korean fashion designer, Lee Sang-bong. And the architecture is by a Korean architect, Eun San-dong. it reminds me of the Mont Blanc, the desserts. And that is very pleasing to the eye with all these circular movements. The circles also is a symbol of harmony in the Korean culture. So that's what I want to emphasize here.
Great.
And this collection was all exhibited together in Japan, in Tokyo?
No, actually, this collection is from an article that I have the work published in the Royal Photographic Society VR magazine.
Cool.
The solo exhibition in Hasselblad, Japan was in 2019, and it's called the Emergence. It is a black and white collection of architectural abstracts that I've captured in Southern California. And the collection is abstracts of the famous Frank Gehry architecture Walt Disney Concert Hall in LA.
Oh, awesome.
I love that spot.
Oh, thank you.
I'm familiar with that series. It's simply spectacular.
Have you been there before?
No, I've just seen your work. Yeah, I'm familiar with your series of
Oh, thank you.
yeah, Emergence.
And I was going to say that the museum next door, the Broad, has some really nice architecture to it as well.
Oh, yes, most definitely. The skin of the Broad is really good subject for black and white photos.
Yeah, nice.
So my upcoming exhibition is called California Fantasy, and that's hosted by Bendo Camera in Seoul, South Korea. So why California Fantasy? Because I live in California. Colorful California. Colors will catch our attention. And I use my Hasselblad to capture vivid colors. My Hasselblad X1D can produce natural color solution. So then among these colors, which color do you think I like best?
Did you want me to go to the next slide?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's
that's
the black and white.
Yeah. This is the Emergence black and white collection that I have exhibited as a solo exhibition in Tokyo in 2019 winter. And that exhibition emphasizes on the nautical theme that this building resembles, with the buildings shaping like the sails of a boat. Nice. The fabric on the mast of the ship. The nautical theme that Frank Gehry has repeatedly been using. Thank you for that comment. Thanks. And then we can also go to the next slide. And the Geometric Abstraction is a set of published work on the Medium format magazine. It is an online magazine. And I have talked about the execution and planning also in this particular article that was published in August of 2022. So this collection is a collection of blocky facades that has this vibrant color, which can uplift the spirits of people and make people remember this signature California color.
Yeah, like a minimalist painting, right, Jack? You're saying?
Yeah, abstract painting, brilliant, like a Mondrian.
Oh yes, Mondrian is one of my inspiration. I like Mondrian a lot.
You could see this series in a gallery where people don't actually know whether it's a photograph or a painting.
And yes, that is what I am trying to achieve.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. So what I'm trying to achieve is when I have a photograph, I try to make it look painterly. And
Yes.
this series is the minimalistic approach, if you will, to the architecture.
Great. And I think that's it for the slides. Did you want to do some screen sharing and maybe show a tab on your browser of your website or another site?
Okay, let me try to do that.
Okay, I'll just go back to this view. I'll do that. Any questions for Gigi about her work? I know you got a lot of nice comments. Someone said lovely work, very, very beautiful work, exquisite. So appreciating your work.
Andrew, can I share the screen or can I share the link?
I did not receive another email, so best if you maybe share your screen and then go to a tab that shows a website. You can jump through the different photos.
Okay.
Bear with us, everybody. Let us know if you have any questions or comments for Gigi. People are shy today.
Andrew, I think I need to send you this link.
Okay. There is also a private chat here if you look on the right.
Okay.
So if you go there, you can post the link. Yeah. Welcome, Paul. Paul's saying it's all right.
I know Paul. He's a friend on my Facebook. Very good photographer. Hi, Paul.
And Ray says, I'm not shy. So Ray's commenting. Good to see you here, Ray. So yeah, on the right side, you should see private chat. You can just post the link, and then I will do screen sharing for that.
Here we go.
Or did you put in the Facebook one? There we go. Private chat. Okay, good. Okay.
Thanks for having me today, Jack.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, Gigi. I've admired your work for some years, and always check out your new pieces and series.
So how did we connect? The Influx Gallery, I thank you for inviting me. It is an exciting venture for the emerging awarding artists from around the world.
Okay.
We've been overwhelmed by the response, really, with the gallery. And to have such world-class photographers such as yourself on board is a real pleasure.
So there's your site up on the screen, Gigi. So just let me know where to go.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. I'd like to go to the California Fantasy.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
So I guess living in California, Andrew, this work strikes a chord with you as well.
Yeah, I recognize some of the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, Gigi, you want to start talking about the work?
Yes. So the California Fantasy is a collection of colors that I explore in California, Southern California to be exact. And among all these colors, which color do you think I like best?
Light blue?
This is one of them.
And orange.
That's spectacular, that piece with the stop sign.
Thank you.
Man walking, that's so good.
I think you're a fan of orange as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a fan of orange. Do you like orange?
Well, like it or not, I think I'm orange today on the screen. Right?
He's friends with me. He's friends with me, so he definitely likes orange.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. So I'm going to be curating 8 photos from this collection for my upcoming exhibition in Seoul, hosted by Bendo Camera in South Korea. The theme, yes, will most likely be orange. And the reason why I chose this title is actually because I was inspired by the Lotto of California. The name of the lotto here is called California Fantasy 5. Since I like it so much, I kind of stole it for the title.
We got some nice comments. So Don says, I have a comment. Gigi knows, but her work has inspired me to try and raise my game. Her kind words have been an inspiration.
Thank you, Don. Good to see you, Don.
And Jeff says, it's amazing I cannot differentiate between what is a real photograph and a painting.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we got a compliment for Jack. So Facebook user says, big fan of The Savage. His new work is monumental. Would like to see more Gigi work, maybe full screen. Yep, that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
And someone says, for Gigi's work, love the simplicity, even with the complex subjects.
It's minimal, but yet it's complex. That's the beauty of this work. Minimal complexity.
Thank you.
And I'll jump back to full screen view and then let me know how you want me to navigate. If there's any particular image you want me to focus on.
I would like to focus on the orange ball in the middle.
Great. Here we are. Should I click on that? I think it gives me a larger view as well. Yep. Great. Okay. Gigi, did you want to talk about the image?
Yes, I'd like to talk about the image. So this is an example of coming back at a different time and circling around the area. So this photo was actually taken very early in the morning. And I used the outdoor photography planning app. And the app told me that during that particular morning hour at around 7:30 in the morning, the sunlight would be sipping through in between 2 tall buildings, which was around this area. And that was probably the only time that would make the ball look like this.
That's really cool. So you using technology to with your explorations to go out of a precise moment to capture the shot. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did not know that these apps existed. It's really cool.
The app I use is called the TPE. Of course, there are other apps like the Sunseeker, which is also one of the more popular photography tool that can be used to plan out the day and see what angle the light is going to shine on different facades.
Yeah.
So how do I determine that? That's how I determine what time of day to shoot. And how do I carry out the plan? I would walk around, keep walking around, keep exploring, and I would circle around the area, try shooting with a different angle. So this place here that I'm shooting is the Pershing Square, and I've come back at a different time before. The light condition changes, And that's how this picture was taken.
Right.
I think your emphasis on the exploration aspect of photography is fascinating, because I, for one, as a photographer, I love nothing more than a good photography expedition or exploration. And it just gives me such a buzz when you have a new place or a new location. And like you said, you just wander around like a child in a sweet shop. It's just...
Yeah. Great.
Yes, exploration is very important. Yeah. It helps with motivating me to go forward, to find another subject. And motivation also comes from regularly reviewing my goals and progress.
Absolutely.
And also, I would ask myself, am I getting closer to the target? And in the process, there's got to be a target or a mission. Vision without mission does not work, at least not for me. And sometimes not knowing all the answers is okay. Don't be afraid. What is important is to be emotionally free and go walk around, explore, play in the sandbox. That's how I feel.
And Jeff says, minimalist but amazing. I never looked at the world this way.
Thank you, Jeff.
And Gigi, did you want me to go back to the main California grouping?
Yes.
Go over some. Okay, here we are.
And I would like to take a look at number 5, the picture with the 5 on the bottom. If we scroll down a little bit, the 5. Up a little bit.
Okay.
Thanks, Andrew.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
That's
the number 5. Yep. There we go. I thought you were saying image number 5. I'm like, well, I tried to find that in that lots of images, but yeah, that looks great. Yep. I'll do a larger view for that. There we go. Okay.
Yes. So this number 5 right here is an office building in Southern California, and it's also going to be part of my California Fantasy, the exhibition. The obvious color of orange salmon pink is one of my favorites, and I do like the green. That's the combination that I like for the presentation of this photo.
Great. It's very Miami colors.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I've been to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, different parts of Florida. I love the skies in Florida too. Cloud formations after the rain.
Great. And let's take a look at, and thanks again, Andrew, for hosting, and thanks to StreamYard for this amazing show.
Yes. Shall I go back to the portfolio? Yep, California Fantasy.
And let's take a look at the next orange picture to your right.
With the cactus?
Next to the cactus.
Okay, the one to this one.
I love this image.
Thank you. This image is inspired by Mark Rothko and Pierre Mondrian. I actually called this image almost Mondrian because of how the picture is divided into different squares. And that's how Mondrian was painting his famous photo.
Compositional greatness.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like architecture is because my dad taught architecture in university and I grew up with it. So this is a familiar subject for me.
Oh, cool. It's nice to hear little insights behind people's motivations and your career. That's really cool. I didn't know that. So it was in the family from an early age then, this vision.
Yes. I believe when I was really young, maybe 3 or 4, I would already be following my dad. And he would always have a camera with him also. So I would be looking at buildings with him. And that gave me the option to have ideas, a bank of ideas to be planted in the mind. And what are ideas? Ideas are thoughts that come to mind. And in this journey of creation, it leads to aha moments. The time that I think of a new collection.
Great.
Cool.
Shall I go back?
Yes, please.
Go. Which one is next?
The picture that's right underneath the orange Mondrian one. This particular,
one?
Yes.
With the pink? Yeah.
So this particular picture here is an abstract of different lines. I purposely left it like this so that there is the diagonal coming from the left to right. This is actually a facade of a museum in Long Beach. The blocks created here and the pastel color combination make it look like a painting.
And you have a question. So someone's asking, I love how you combine hard symmetrical with a hint of organic elements in some images. Is this intentional?
Thank you for the question. So the hard and symmetry, yes, it is intentional. I actually also want to have a hint of reality in the image so that the image will not look like it's a pure rendering from a computer.
Nice.
Andrew, if we can go back to the...
Okay.
There is a cactus, I believe, with a... There's one cactus. There's one more cactus.
Okay. Down
There
here?
it is.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Great.
A typical adobe kind of a building in Southern California. The cactus in this picture is the organic form in the picture. And the shadow of the cactus creates a dimension and makes the photo more interesting.
Nice.
Anyone have any questions?
Questions, comments, let us know. Shall I go back to the grouping of images?
I also want to add the shadow that you see on this particular image it was casted by a bridge around the area, and that particular shadow can only be seen in the morning.
Nice. Okay, did you want me to go back to the grouping of images?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any particular image?
Up a little bit more, please.
All very painterly photographs.
Reminds me of lithographs as well.
Yeah, I know you've got some experience in the printing world, haven't you, Andrew?
Yeah, printmaking major back in the day.
Yeah.
Andrew, can you elaborate a little bit on your printing experience, if you don't mind?
So yeah, I went to art college and just kind of naturally became a printmaking major. So I was doing etchings, lithographs, silk screens. They did paper making back in the day too. I'm not sure if they follow through with that so much nowadays, but you had different colored paper pulp that you would put together like a painting. It's interesting. But the thing I really liked is my first college, which was a state university in New York at Purchase College. The printmaking instructors were excellent. And with the lithographs, there was a kind of a romance to it because, it was back in the, mid 80s. And so we had large limestones. So you would have to get like a little mini crane that would pick up the limestone, bring it over to an area where you'd put like this, I think it was called carborundum, and then like a little kind of spinning metal wheel that you would use to kind of grind it down to make it smooth to do your drawing. And so you would draw with like the like a wax pencil, and you can brush with the kind of texture, and then you would do a slight a mixture. I think it was like an acid and a slight gum arabic solution, and that would kind of create like the relief for it. And then you'd bring that into the other room, and you would roll out the big rollers for the ink. It was quite very process orientated and
involved.
Yeah, I liked it. The only thing is from there I also went to school at the School of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and Massachusetts College of Art. And I was taking classes at both colleges, which was a great opportunity. I believe the head instructor or the overseer of the print division at Massachusetts College of Art, I think he got sick from all the chemicals that are in the print division. Yeah, so the whole idea of like proper ventilation and staying healthy when you're doing printmaking all the time is, I think it's changed, and that's why they might have different processes now, because back in the day they were a little too free about it, and there's repercussions. And I think for like lithograph now they use like the metal plates, so that's very easy, so that's very transportable, where if someone wanted to print after you had worked on a big limestone block, I would imagine that'd be very expensive to transport it to another professional printing facility. So yeah, a metal plate is much easier to get around.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Andrew.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, fairly interesting. It's funny how these industries evolve, and with health and safety protocol. And
yeah, now it's all digital for me now, so I'm far away from chemicals and that type of stuff. But
yeah,
it was a great experience. I loved it.
Great, thanks for sharing.
Sure. Do you have experience in film photography back in the day, Gigi?
I actually, right now, I'm trying to use the Hoga camera.
Oh, cool.
To see what I can come up with, because the Hoga camera has lots of surprises, and it is also a medium format, and I have one right here.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I can do double exposures and play with the idea of the 120 roll. It gives me surprises.
Can you get
Sorry, Andrew. After you.
No, you go. You go, Jack.
Do you use a darkroom?
I actually don't have a darkroom. I have to take the film out to be developed. How about you, Jack? Have you have any experience with the film photography?
I did when I was a teenager in the 90s. We did it at school, and I used to use a darkroom, and I was always fascinated by. I used to think it was a magical place. Never really understood it very well, if I'm honest with you. And then my interest in photography got reawakened in 2011, and by which time it was all digital. But I tried to use those cinematic film principles that I learned at college in my work today. A lot of my influence comes from cinema, and that's as you know, that's closely linked to film.
Great, great. I am also looking into the cinematic approach too.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with large format at all?
I haven't. I've got a colleague, a friend of mine in Northampton who always shoots on Hasselblad. He's a portrait photographer called Gavin Wallace, very, very good photographer. To be honest, no, I haven't. I'd like to explore that in the future. I mainly use Canon DSLRs and mirrorless with Fuji as well. Also use Fuji. But I've never actually made that jump up. But I look some of that. I know big congratulations on you becoming a Hasselblad heroine this year.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How we met, I think how we connected was in the International Photography Award scene. And we both became winners and then added each other's friends. And even though we're different styles of photography, I saw like a similar passion. Just a winner, really. You're a winner. And I remember reading an interview.
You too.
Thank you, Gigi. And I remember reading an interview with you saying that photography was a sport. And that resonated with me because we're all trying to improve each other. I, like you, am very ambitious, and I have long-term goals and short-term goals. Sometimes I feel I'm not reaching them, but I'm very, very determined in this photography world. And I think, what's the word? You can sense that in another person too, which is great.
Great.
And we have a couple questions.
Okay.
So first is there's a request to talk about the image just up one row from the ball image on the left, which I believe is this image, which I was also, that really reminded me of lithographs. So I was really attracted to that one as well. You want to talk about that one, Gigi?
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
This particular image is actually from the same location as I shot the orange ball. I have it upside down. And the image here, I was going after the Mondrian inspired, the minimalistic approach again. What I saw was the rectangular shape in this picture. The cube is actually a light box, while they are different walls of purple color. The dark purple was there because it did not receive enough light from the sun, while the pale purple was the wall that had sunlight on it. So that created that strong contrast. And of course, the blue is actually the sky.
Nice.
Strong geometrics in this piece. It definitely looks like a geometric painting, otherworldly as well. Really cool.
And then we have a compliment and a question from Jeff. He says, absolutely amazing work. Gigi, what post-processing tools do you use?
I use Adobe Lightroom.
Nice.
And I use the Lightroom Classic still. Although I'm a subscriber to the Creative Cloud myself.
Great.
Any other questions?
I think it's just those two for now. Let us know if people have questions, comments. Don't be shy. Ray, you said you're not shy. Any questions, comments, Ray?
Yes.
One question from me, Gigi. Sorry to interrupt. Yes. Have you ever photographed the architecture in London?
Not yet. I took it as an invitation for me to come.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to see your work from the city.
We should definitely meet up.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Yes, I will. I can see London as a very interesting architectural scene, and with ample opportunities for exciting abstracts and ideas. I'll look into that.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And also for you, Andrew, with your psychedelic creations would be really cool.
What, to come to London? And
yeah. Your work, but just with London streets.
Yeah, I lived there for 6 months back in, was it late 80s, early 90s, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think it was expensive then, but like now, I think it must be really expensive, right? London?
It depends where you go. It's expensive if you want to drink alcohol.
Even a pint of beer in a bag of crisps is pretty expensive.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much, Andrew and Jack. Thank you for this platform and for this time to showcase my work.
Great.
Thank you, Gigi. It's such a pleasure.
So let me go back here. Great. Excellent. So any more questions? Let's see. We have, when are you going back to Japan? Asked Stan.
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't believe Japan is allowing individual travel right now. I would very much like to go back to Japan to take more architecture photos in Tokyo, and also go to have more delicious food. But sure. I will tell you this. Again, I wanted to showcase my California Fantasy October exhibition again. That's going to be in October in Seoul, sponsored by Bendo Camera, Seoul, South Korea.
Great. So yeah, so let me give some shout outs to where you can follow Gigi online. So first, make sure to check out the Influx Gallery of Artists, influxgallery.com/artists. See that down at the bottom. Gigi at the Influx Gallery, influxgallery.com/Gigi Chung. Gigi on Instagram at instagram.com, Gigi8188. Interesting numbers.
Thank you.
And then you can follow Jack online at savagedart.com.
Yay,
got me again. That's savage. I love it.
Savage.
It always gets us. Yeah, it always draws a chuckle.
Yeah, it's great though. And then Jack also on Instagram, instagram.com/JackSavage_photo. And then I am on Influx Gallery at influxgallery.com, Andrew-Kavanagh, and on Instagram at Digital Artist Drew on Instagram. And please, anyone who is watching this and watching the recording, don't forget to subscribe for my digital art, Photoshop and photography focused live streams and tutorials on my YouTube, which is Digital Art Drew on YouTube. That's Digital Art Drew on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please watch these lives. There's a lot of great ones for the Influx Gallery series and some good ones related to Photoshop and Lightroom and some Photoshop tutorials. And we have some comments from Jeff. I'm very humbled by her work. I'm going to look at the world in a different way now. Nice.
Oh, nice. Thank
comment.
you. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for coming.
And someone else says, swung by because I was a Jack fan, but now I'm inspired by Gigi. Thank you, Andrew, for hosting the event.
That's so cool.
Cool.
Makes it all worthwhile when people are changing their aesthetic just because of you. And yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, great. Yeah, this is wonderful. So yes,
the whole idea of being an artist, I think, is so people get moved by our work. And when someone is, it's a success story, right?
absolutely. Oh, I'll go back to this view. So yes, thank you so much. And just a reminder that I will be posting the recording in the various Facebook groups, and you will find the link to the YouTube recording. So please watch that and watch some of the other Influx Gallery showcases we've had. Thank you so much, Gigi. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks everyone for attending.